I'm in a Honda Sony collaborative car that is not even available yet, and I'm going to share everything I can find out about it with you in this video. Check this out. So there's this wild connection between me and this new car that I just have to tell you about today. Two brands that have literally been a part of my life since I was just a little baby running around in my saggy diapers, just teamed up to create this thing called the AFEELA. And they have absolutely no idea how they've been woven into my story since day one. Back in the early 80s, my parents both had Honda Civics. Picture baby me screaming my head off. No, don't picture that. I was a good kid, I think. But then again, maybe they were just desperate to get me to stop crying and put me to sleep. Either way, they used to just strap me into a car seat, put me in the back of one of their Honda Civics, and go for a drive. Probably playing something like the Beatles or Neil Diamond or Earth, Wind & Fire, you know, those 70s and 80s. Anyway, that little car would just rock me gently to sleep. Fast forward to high school, I'm begging for a PlayStation like all my friends have. My mom and my stepdad shut that down with a hard no. It'll destroy your grades or make you get addicted to video games. I don't remember. But the kicker, I move out and boom, my younger siblings magically get a brand new PlayStation for Christmas. I might still be a little salty about that one if I'm being honest. So when Sony Honda Mobility invited me to check out their new electric vehicle, the AFEELA 1, it felt like this weird full circle moment where my childhood and teenage angst converged into something I never saw coming. Now, the world is full of EVs, or maybe I should say attempts at EVs, that are usually just all show and no go. A lot of EVs are packed with tech and the car itself is disappointing, or maybe even worse, it's a traditional car brand that can't seem to get out of their own way and embrace the future with enough technology for those of us that may be more open to the future. AFEELA is honestly unlike anything else out there right now. It's what happens when Honda's engineering expertise meets Sony's tech brilliance in a true 50-50 partnership. It's the result of two world-class companies doing what they do best together. Now, the sleek design isn't just for looks. It actually achieves a super aerodynamic 0.25 drag coefficient. That's actually better than some of your favorite supercars. But the standout feature has to be this media bar across the front. It's a fully customizable LED display where you can show charging status, personalized messages, but what I think it will become is a social connection between our vehicles. Let me explain. Now, if you're like me and you're coming from a community like the Honda Element community, or if you're a motorcycle rider, you already know that oftentimes when we see one of our own people out there on the road, we wave to them, acknowledge them, and there's just some special connection between those car owners and drivers and riders and all of that. Until we see this in the real world, I think it can come across a little bit gimmicky. But honestly, I believe Sony Honda Mobility's vision for how cars should interact with people is going to change the way that we all use our cars to interact with each other.
Hello, welcome to your AFEELA by Sony Honda Mobility. I'm here to make your drive comfortable and enjoyable. How's your day going so far?
So far, so good.
Glad to hear that. Anything special planned for today, or just enjoying the ride?
I'm getting to see you.
Hey, AFEELA.
Hi.
Hey, can you change the theme to something Japanese?
Okay.
There we go.
Wow.
Perfect. So what she just did is called a theme change, right? So the theme change is actually going to change like the entire mood of the cabin.
Yeah.
So it changes that front media bar, your panoramic display here. You'll also notice the ambient lights change color too. And then even these back two screens here all change with the theme.
It's like our cars are going to have their own digital personality in the future. And honestly, I think that could result in a lot of us meeting new friends that share the same passions that we do. Not to mention, if you were around in the 80s, you might remember a slightly popular TV show called Knight Rider, where Kit, the car, definitely came with some main character energy back in the day.
Millston in Silicon Valley, 110 miles. All right, might as well put on some music. All these weird gadgets, you'd think they'd give you a radio.
What would you like to hear?
What the hell was that?
It's safe to say that with AFEELA, we're officially able to have normal conversations with our cars. Step inside of the AFEELA and you're surrounded by screens in this super clean, minimalist cabin. The panoramic dashboard runs almost the entire width of the car, and it's powered by Qualcomm's Snapdragon digital chassis tech. This is what they call the software-defined vehicle, with ridiculous computing power for everything from entertainment to driver assistance. And yeah, for my parents who might be watching, it fully integrates Sony's entertainment content when you're parked. Games, movies, music. The best of Sony approach brings everything right into the car. And you know I had to have them put on the Gran Turismo theme for me. AFEELA comes loaded with 40 plus cameras and sensors, including LiDAR that you see in the top center of the front of the vehicle, cameras on those two bunny ears, and it really creates this protective bubble all around you. You can even see how it works on the displays inside.
So sensing view, this is essentially showing you like what your LiDAR sees, right? So that level of detail in terms of its own depth perception, right? So this is everything that you have helping you with that autonomous driving, with those ADAS features. You can see how precise it is with even like looking at things that are out there in the courtyard, right?
It is absolutely crazy, and it feels like you're sitting in the future. By the way, if you want to know how important LiDAR will be in the future, check out Mark Rober's recent video comparing camera technology and LiDAR technology in terms of safety for vehicles. All these sensors feed into something called the Sensing Hub.
Here it is. This is your future.
Powered by Qualcomm's SoC, processing massive amounts of data to support level 3 autonomous driving. That means on highways it can basically take over changing lanes, maintaining distance, and navigating, while you just have to stay alert. I believe we're still getting to that point, but hopefully by the time AFEELA hits the road in 2026, we'll actually be at level 3. Sony's influence is all over the entertainment system. They're calling it the best of Sony approach, which means you get this immersive spatial audio experience with perfectly positioned speakers and access to Sony's gaming, movie, and music content.
If we bring up Ride View here, which is going to have lots of fun Sony content, how this works for the driver versus the passenger is the driver is welcome to enjoy content. Like if they're in park, maybe you're charging, you're waiting for someone, you'll never be bored, right? You can keep yourself entertained. But what you can do once your passengers hop in is what we call an L swipe. So you can actually swipe this content over. Once you're in drive, we'll have a privacy filter to where you won't be able to see what I'm watching over here, so you don't get distracted. But as you can see, like you could be navigating here.
Yeah.
I've got my movie, we're both happy. But I'm gonna swipe this back.
The interface is super intuitive and it learns your preferences over time. It's not just transportation anymore. It's like a rolling entertainment center. And for me, the sound quality, man, it takes me back to when I was building high-end audio systems for people back in the day. The whole design follows what Sony Honda Mobility calls seamless, soft simplicity. The exterior has this intriguing simplicity vibe, clean lines, minimal clutter, and inside they've gone for more of a gentle cocoon feeling that wraps you in comfort and tech. Every detail feels very intentional, creating this totally new relationship between you and your car. And I say that as a car person. Performance-wise, we're looking at an all-wheel drive dual motor setup pushing approximately 483 horsepower in the prototype. The approximately 91 kilowatt hour battery should deliver around 300 or so miles of range, and DC fast charging that's basically universal across the supercharger network can get you from 10% to 80% in roughly 30 minutes. This version of AFEELA is called a production intent prototype. That means we can't actually take it on the road today to feel that instant torque or those 0 to 60 times that are about 4.5 seconds, but I'm told ride-alongs will start later this year and test drives will begin in early 2026. Let's talk about staying connected. AFEELA comes with built-in 5G connectivity, and if you've followed me for a number of years, you might remember that I actually started my career in wireless. So this kind of gets me a little more excited than even some of the other details about the car. Drop me a comment if you're one of those fellow wireless industry vets, or even better, if you remember some of these crazy Sony Ericsson phones from back in the day. Along with the obvious entertainment benefits, this high-speed connection enables seamless over-the-air updates, real-time traffic data, and constantly updated maps. Your car literally gets better over time without ever having to visit a dealer. If you want one of these, pricing starts at $89,900 for the Origin, which comes in black with 19-inch wheels, or you can opt for the Signature Edition, which comes in white, black, or gray, and also gets you the 21-inch wheels and that beautiful dual rear screen setup that you saw. You can reserve yours right now for $200, which is a refundable deposit. Deliveries are scheduled to kick off in spring of 2026, starting with North American customers. Those late night drives in my parents' Civic somehow converged with a PlayStation I never got, and if I'm being honest, I bought plenty of PlayStations throughout the years. But the combination of these two things creates something that neither Honda or Sony could have pulled off alone. I think this collaboration really shows what's most exciting about where cars are headed. Unexpected partnerships, creating experiences that go way beyond just getting from point A to point B. The AFEELA isn't just another EV, it's a rolling example of how far these iconic companies have come and how our relationship with vehicles is evolving into something our parents and grandparents could have never possibly imagined. As I mentioned earlier in the video, the AFEELA team said that Sony Honda Mobility is aiming to have ride-alongs available for customers later this year, with test drives opening up in early 2026. I plan on covering both of those on this channel in the future, so hit subscribe so you don't miss out on those. If you're anything like me and you're fascinated by this mashup of automotive engineering and digital tech, check out the latest episode of the Cars and Kicks show on your favorite podcast app. We talk about it in depth on the show. And be sure to hit that subscribe button and let me know what your favorite feature of the AFEELA is. Thanks for watching. I will catch you in the next video. Peace.